Well, this has been a long time coming because it's been a while back. I wanted to get you on the podcast. Because you got through
all the good ones, and then you're left at the bottom of the barrel.
And then here the last couple weeks, we've been trying to get it together, but because you being out of town, you're in Lansing, and one Wednesday, and then the next Wednesday, I was really sick, and Laura, I think you had a previous engagement that you couldn't get out of.
We're all very busy.
So now, you know what? We're finally here.
We're here.
And really the standard, at least from what Christine Belting has told me, is Christine and Rod. So every interview that I have with former alumni, there we go, is always measured to there.
Oh, that's
so
who we'll
see how that's who measured to.
Come on, that's light work.
I'm obligated to say some nice things. So here we go.
Welcome to the Pointe podcast. The Pointe is for outside listeners curious to know more about NorthPointe's mission to equip students to impact their world for Jesus Christ. We're so glad you joined us, so let's just get to the point.
Let's start with that.
Welcome you back to the Pointe podcast, and we highlight people and stories and the mission behind NorthPointe Christian. Today's guests have a unique connection to the school community as former students and now leaders shaping this generation. Mike and Laura, their roots run deep. Grew up here at Grand Rapids Baptist when it was Grand Rapids Baptist back in the day. Both of their parents taught in the building, and I know them quite well. Mike has his own legacy as a student athlete before going to play basketball at Cornerstone University. And from what I understand, Laura, homecoming queen, is
cool. 2002.
There it is.
So, anyway, so
that's my biggest claim to fame is I got the homecoming queen to marry me somehow. I don't know.
There you go. And then you have a twin, Leah.
I do.
Right? Do you have any Wonder Twin powers?
You know, we do often show up wearing the same outfit without speaking. We show up to family events wearing the same outfit.
Okay.
We talk multiple times a day, as Mike can attest to. Yep. So I would say we just, we're close. We don't read each other's
Both
minds.
live here still in the area?
We do, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. I'm sure your mom, Sue Droege, I'm sure she loves that.
Oh, she does.
Able to see the grandkids a lot.
Yes.
All the time.
Do that.
Yep. Yes.
And then, of course, your mom, Bobby, who is here too. And
Bobby Jones, tutor.
She actually grew up in a small town in Indiana called Linton,
there we go.
Indiana, which was just about 5 miles from where I went to high school in Lyons, Indiana. And so we know the same stomping grounds, though we weren't there at the same time.
Right, yeah. I think there's a Linton banner in the movie Hoosiers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
one of the
Linton was one of the teams they played in the movie Hoosiers. For those of you that aren't aware of the movie Hoosiers, my brother Wade was in. He's 2 years younger than I am. He was Ollie, the one that hit the 200-hander free throws. And so every year, at the beginning of the year, just to share my story with the seniors, I show them some clips of the Hoosiers movie and then talk a little bit about that. Because that's how I met my wife, Nancy. Yeah. She was a cheerleader in the movie Hoosiers. And when that was going on, I was around there. I have a part in it. You have to pause it to see me, right? You probably.
But he learned his free throw form from watching you. Is that right?
You know what? I'm not that old to where underhanded free throws were the norm. But anyway, so my brother was in Hoosiers, and I guess if I have a claim to fame, that I'll take that as my claim to fame. My connection rests with greatness. So anyway, how are your parents? A little bit about them. Well, go ahead. How's Sue doing?
She's doing well. She's retired. She is on full grandchild duty, so she has many grandchildren, and she keeps herself very busy. So she's doing well.
I know when she was here, she was really big in the Right to Life Club and leading that. Is she still involved in that in any way?
So she was working. She gave that up a few years ago just because of everything else going on, but she's still very passionate about it. So
we've kind of started that up again here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, with Caleb Marcus, who's one of our teachers here on staff last few years. He's the one that's kind of taking the lead for that.
Yeah, that's great.
So, and how's Bobby doing? And your dad?
I'm doing great. Bobby and Jim are doing great. They're still in the area. You know, they still love hoops.
Yeah.
You know, I'll get a
Playing
text
or
from
watching.
Just watching. Just watching, but I'll get a text.
Your dad was a pretty good player.
He was a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Yeah. pretty good. If there's a big game on or something, I'll get a text, hey, Michigan looked good first half.
Yeah.
So
Michigan looked good this season.
They looked very good this season.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to have Michigan as the national champion in basketball. And of course, IU is the national champion
of course.
in football.
The Big Ten is running things right now.
The Big Ten.
The Big Ten is running.
Gotta love the Big Ten.
But yeah, they're always around. Our kids do athletics and sports and do a lot of things, and they come to all that stuff. And orchestra concert tonight, they'll be there. And
okay,
yeah, they're very involved. And
let's talk a little bit about your kids, your family. Yeah. How many kids?
What do we got? 3.
3 kids.
Three
Last
boys.
count.
3 boys.
If we can keep track of them.
3 boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 boys.
And what are the ages? Laura, what are the ages?
Our oldest is 13.
Okay, and his name?
William. He's in 7th grade here. And then we have a 5th grader, Sam. And
Sam rides the bus. I drive the shuttle, and so Sam's on the bus.
Sam rides the bus.
Yes,
So I've
hopefully
got to know him a little
behaves,
bit.
but he's miniature Mike.
Yeah, he is.
There we go.
Yep.
He is little mini me.
Yep. And then we have Charlie, who is in 1st grade, so he's 7.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yep.
Did you ever think you have 3 boys?
I didn't.
No?
No.
Because, your family, well, I know you got a brother, but
Yeah, we were
you 2
a
girls.
big girl family. We had an older sister too. So
Okay.
I did not imagine myself with 3 boys, but here we are, and never a dull moment.
Has it been easy, do you think, raising 3 boys?
Easy is not the word I would probably.
You could say 4 boys.
I was just about to say that, actually.
You could say 4.
4 boys, yeah. I would say it has been an adventure. They're very, very sweet boys. I love them, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yep.
But it's never a dull moment in our house, and I would say it's loud all the time.
I'll bet.
Yep.
I'll bet. So now, did you have any brothers or sisters?
I had an older brother.
Older brother.
Yep, and a younger sister. She was adopted as a baby
Yes,
from South Korea.
Yes. Now I know.
Yep.
Now I know. Now I remember.
Great artist, equestrian, all that stuff. She's a nurse right now, and lives in the area.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, good. You know what? One of the things that I really like to do with you guys is like to break out the yearbook. Because it's been a while, right?
We had one at our house. My kids were flipping through it, and they're like, man.
2002 here. So I want to just ask you some questions here. The first one I want to ask, Mike, so here's you playing basketball, which you seem to do quite well, though I know cross country is your real love. Boom, chicky, bow, bow, Mike Cameron. What's that quote all about? You remember that? Boom, chicky, bow, bow?
I don't remember that quote.
Was that something you said like when you scored? Or?
Every time I scored, I would whisper it in my opponent's ear.
That's your trash talk back in 2002.
That was the 2002 trash talk. I don't know where that came
Boom,
from.
chicky, bow, bow. That was quite
It could have been somebody said, hey, I dare you to say this, or maybe it was a running joke in the team, but no, it wasn't part of the trash talk, no.
That was quite interesting.
Yeah,
and then, Laura, I see you here with your 1991 Ford Escort wagon.
Oh,
Hey.
yes.
Do you still have that?
No.
No?
My sister crashed that actually just outside of the school, just turning out of the school.
Oh, man.
So that was very short-lived. She was okay, thankfully, which is what matters. But no, the Escort
Didn't make it,
no
huh?
longer.
Escort didn't make it.
Nope.
All right, the last thing I want to do is I want to talk to you about some quotes here. So, Laura, your quote, maybe you've looked at this, but your most memorable moment is your senior girls' Bible study. And, there's another quote with you here. It says, I learned how important it is to fully depend upon God and trust Him with your life at all times. And so really here at NorthPointe Christian, as we're trying to intersect the life of faith and stuff of life, it seems even back there during the 2002 with Grand Rapids Baptist that you were doing that, you're intentional about doing that. And I saw that in you when you were here, both you and your sister Leah. So tell me, are there things that you're still doing today in Bible study and women's Bible study? What's going on?
Yeah, I would say NorthPointe set the foundation. I grew up in a Christian home, obviously, but I think just being infiltrated here with the Word set the stage for that. And then I do still, so I'm in 2 Bible studies right now, both women's Bible studies. One is Bible Study Fellowship.
Yep.
And that I would say, I've been in many over the years, but I would say Bible Study Fellowship has really deepened my faith and taught me to study the Bible in a different way than I ever did before.
Right.
So that has really deepened my faith, and that's just been even in this last year. So I would say just staying in the Word and grounding myself in the Word has been a continued theme in my life, I guess.
Did you ever think that you would be back here at used to be Grand Rapids Baptist at NorthPointe Christian? That 2026.
I didn't. No, to be honest. Mike, taught at a charter school and then Rockford and Sparta. And
how many years?
Probably 17 or 18 years kind of in the classroom and coaching and in teaching. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
So Christian education was always something I wanted for my kids, but we were happy where we were and with the kids, being at Rockford and Mike being there. And yeah, I did not see this coming, but it's been a huge blessing and I'm grateful that we're here.
So let's talk a little bit about that transition. So 18 years in teaching. So what was it that kind of said, you know what, you need to be back at your alma mater, you need to be back here at NorthPointe Christian?
So what
led to that?
I would say it started with her wanting to move south to warmer weather. So
so south from Rockford to Grand Rapids.
So south from Rockford to Grand Rapids.
Yeah,
exactly. So I actually had verbally accepted a job in North Carolina as an athletic director down there. And so we were getting our house kind of ready, and ready to sell. And then I don't even remember how I got connected with Tom or Todd or somebody about this position that was open.
Okay.
And I was coming off of a fall when I was 39 and I was baptized. So I was baptized at 39. And that was, for me, it was the first time where I really felt God saying, you're not doing enough to further my kingdom, And I'll use the word surrender just for the first time going, all right, put me where, we had these different options that were out there. God, make it clear where we need to go. And the colder weather was the answer. So, it just became very clear that God had opened this particular door to kind of transition to a leadership position, but still an opportunity to connect with students, but do it here in a way where I could really impact my little world for Jesus Christ. And that's kind of what led us to say, God's telling us to stay here. And our kids all came here and had an amazing transition, and they have great groups of friends. And it has been the best 3 years professionally for me that I've ever had.
I did want to give a shout out, but then we got past it because I remember specifically Christine Velting. I saw her at Aldi, and this was when Mike was at Rockford, and we had a conversation about getting Mike to work here.
Okay.
And at the time, I was like, there's no way that's going to happen. And that started the ball rolling. So I want to give her a shout out.
So a little shout out to Christine Velting. Okay. So when you first came in, you were what, 6th grade teacher here for a year?
I came in under the title of high school assistant principal.
Okay.
Assistant athletic director. 6th grade teacher.
So
there was a need for someone to cover some 6th grade classes.
Okay.
And so I was willing to do that. And I did that for the first 3 periods of the day. And then I would kind of transition, switch the hats over, come down here, athletics and administrative stuff. And
So what are some of the rewards of the job, some of the challenges of the job that you now occupy?
I think, rewards, I'm able to connect with so many more teachers, so many more families, and so many more students than I would being in a classroom, which I still love. And it, it still has a special spot in my heart being in a classroom. So I think some of the challenges, and maybe she could chime in on this too, is, it does shift kind of your hours of work, a lot of evenings.
Especially the AD role.
Yeah, a lot of events. Yep. But, let's take last week, for example, late nights, pretty much every night. And then you're done. And you go, man, that was all just so rich. It's so great. And so you're tired, but you know that it's worth it.
Yeah. Let's talk about last week, because last week I'm assuming you're thinking of the senior presentations. Were you able to come to any of the senior presentations
to
see them?
No, just with the kids in sports and whatnot. So unfortunately, no, but I did hear about them.
Yeah, so the last 2-3 years, you've been able to come to the senior presentations, which is something that we started under Dan Vander Ark years ago. Before that time, however, during your time, it wasn't senior presentations. It was the 1040 window.
Jerry
under
Lemire.
Mr. Lemire.
Yeah, that's right.
And I see Mr. Lemire ever so often because I preach at Samaritas, where he's at right now. They have a chapel there. And so once a month, I'll go there and preach to the residents there. So I still see him from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
He's still doing well. Be the same old Jerry.
He used to do the PA too for some of the basketball games.
He did. Well, he has
on
that
the mic
deep baritone voice, right?
Yeah. Boom, chicka, bow, bow. Maybe that's where I got it.
That's probably where you got it. Jerry Meyer's Boom Chicka Bow Bow. And it's like Mr. Anderson's Eat 'em Up, Eat 'em Up.
There we go.
Oh, crunch or victory, victory.
Yep.
That's our
right.
cry.
That's right. Yep.
You remember that?
Yeah,
Wow.
so I do. Yep.
Wow. So anyway, a little bit about the senior presentations. Let's just pivot back to that. You know what pivoting is, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. You know what pivoting is? Not passing. But no, I'm
Yeah.
By the way, I coached Mike, and he was a great ball player. And just
we go back. We go back
a ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, let's talk about senior presentations. What strikes you about them that you think that that they're so valuable? Because I do. I think that they're really valuable. But some of your impressions on the senior presentation.
I was reflecting on this a little bit actually, and there's a couple things. One thing, it brings me great joy hearing these stories, but then knowing that these students are going out into the world, and that they're bringing their story with them, and they're bringing that foundation that they have with them. And the other piece, I was reading a devotional about how it was a teacher devotional. It was about how our work matters and can make an impact. And I think it was Joshua 6:9 about don't grow weary of doing good. You're going to see the fruits of your labor. And I got the words aren't exactly right, and I thought about that, and I thought it's not our work that matters, but it's the work that God has called us to do. I think that matters. And you can see the impact when these students get up and present, when they start talking about the teachers, the staff, the coaches, the people that have just poured into them. And then we get to see that in a 20-minute, 30-minute presentation. And it's really beautiful. It is.
Yeah, it's something unique we do here at NorthPointe Christian. Not a lot of schools do that. We'll get comments back from parents and aunts and uncles and others who have come to see the presentations, and they'll say that how impacted they were by them. It's a lot of work. It is, getting them ready and them having to give the presentations, and like you said, long nights. But in the end, is just so rewarding. And to know that they're going out, which I want to bring it back to, I've been here for 30 years, and just the pride that I have in guys and girls like you. And this year has been one where we've interviewed alumni, and normally it's been husband, wife, who've been alumni. And I look over the 30 years that I've been here, and how many of you come back, either bringing their kids here to this school or coming to work at this school. And I think of the way that God has allowed me to be a part of that, and it's humbling. The kids, the seniors left today, and just as many came up to me and thanked me for the class, and thanked me for the time that, I put into them, and the blessing that they've been to me, and all of that, and getting pictures with them and stuff. And as tiring as it can be, and I'm telling you, as older I get, the more tired I get. It's just, the thing is I enjoy it. I can still do it, but boy, it just wears me out. But I want to keep coming back. It's really hard not to come back.
Well, how many, we see, this family's touring, or this family has their kids here. Oh, we went to high school with them.
Yeah.
They're from here. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's great. All right. I got some questions here. So I'm going to start.
We haven't even started the questions yet?
No, we haven't started any kind of questions yet. So let me get to these here. A little bit of going back to memories. What's your favorite? Do you remember memory from Grand Rapids Baptist High School? Is there anything you can remember from? Wait, I know it's been a while, but just some favorite memories.
It's been a minute. It's been a little bit of time.
I'll go Laura.
I'm going to let Laura start because I've been yapping a little bit here. And
that's okay.
If I can be general, I think just the sense of community was that. I think that's my best memory. I look back at pictures of my class, and although I don't, there are still some that I see, and there's many that I have lost touch with, obviously. But it always felt like a safe space. And I think I didn't realize that until being out into the world. And, I went to a Christian college, so.
Yep. Calvin, right?
Calvin, yep.
And Cornerstone.
Yes.
Bitter rivals.
You bet.
Yes.
Forget the Hope Calvin thing.
know.
Took them down.
Yeah, exactly.
Took them down.
But I think I didn't realize how important the community is here until I was kind of out, after college in the workplace, and just how special that is, and how blessed I was to be able to grow up with such a tight-knit community. And then being back here, I see that that's still the vibe here, I guess you could say. So
that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
In the time that I've been here, the camaraderie and the faculty and the staff. And,
and just the support.
It's a unity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been in, before I became on staff here, I substitute taught and sometimes long-term in some of the public schools. And I didn't want to sit in the teacher's lounge because just of the vitriol a lot that I would hear. And it's like, I don't want to be part of that. But it's never been the case here. When you guys were students here, Mike High was here, and Dave Anderson and Bob Hoffman and all. And we'd sit and talk theology, and it just was wonderful. And it has been the case all the way through the time that I've been here. So it's not only been enjoyable from my angle as in teaching students like you guys, but also the people that I've been able to work with has been fantastic. Yeah. So anyway, favorite memory. Oh, favorite teacher?
Oh, boy.
Careful now.
What do you got? Well, I didn't ask you for the worst teacher. So no. Present company excluded. Exclude the present company. I think I had you guys with your freshmen.
Probably early on, I think. Yeah.
So you guys had, Jerry Lemire as your Bible teacher in senior year. So let's go.
You were just a young
junior,
teacher.
Senior year. Yeah.
Frosted tips.
I did because of our cross country team, right? When we would go to state, I would bleach my hair.
Oh, I know.
And so,
I know. Yeah. I think some of us joined you. Perhaps.
I don't think you did, though.
No.
You didn't go. You weren't one of the blonde bombers.
Tips? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know.
Anyway, hate to ruin that hair. Look at that.
So, favorite teacher all throughout or high school?
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
So I would have to say the most memorable teacher is definitely Mrs. Buffton.
Okay. She'll be glad to hear that. She's still here.
There we go.
All right, what was it about Mrs. Buffton that really impacted you?
I think...
Because she is still here for anyone out there who is looking to go to a Christian school.
That's right.
Okay.
She just had this balance of humor, but she also was able to control the classroom. It was just her whole demeanor, I think, just her warmth and sincerity, but also feeling like she made learning fun. And I think I had her my 5th grade year, and I'll just never forget that. I think I have the most memories of that year. She was still is just a great human being all around.
Your favorite memory, Grand Rapids Baptist High School?
I thought hers was going to be... the moment she laid eyes on me, but she didn't even mention me. So I got to change my answer now. So when you look back, you remember certain things. And what I remember, I'll use the word community as well, but it was that group of athletes that I developed relationships with.
Yep. That was a great group.
And it wasn't the games, it's the, the bus rides or the team dinners. Yeah. Those are some of those memories that you kind of take with you. And a lot of those guys I still...
Can I pause you here for a minute? Yeah. Why are you saying this? Okay, because, and this is something I wasn't necessarily going to bring up, but I need to bring up.
Oh, good.
Because I don't understand it. So here's the deal. And this is from your kind of memories here. It says, your favorite activity, of course, was basketball. And then it says your quote, what are you going to do? Lance Gluepker. Okay?
Yep,
so
there you go.
Then I go down to Lance Gluepker right here, and I love Lance. Great guy.
Great guy.
And he says, favorite quote, I wouldn't worry about it. Mike Cameron.
There you go.
So what's up with that?
Here's what I think.
Okay.
All right, if I can remember back,
right.
I want to say those are from the television show Seinfeld. I want to say it was a Seinfeld reference.
All right.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it.
Well, I guess if you're going to quote Seinfeld,
I think that's what it was. I want to say that what it was. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So
That's good. Yeah.
let's continue then.
I'll
Those
have to ask
group of guys.
Lance. Maybe he'll remember.
Maybe he remembers that.
I'll give him a call. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, back to it. So the group of guys.
Yeah, just those times, like I said, not on the court, but you're having team dinners, you're hanging out. It's that sense of community, and after the game, we're going to somebody's house, we're hanging out, we're eating food, we're checking the Grand Rapids Press the next morning to see if there's an article about us or something. It's just
and that's
those little
back
times.
when you actually had the newspaper
You clean your
that you
fingers
went in
afterwards.
and checked.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember those days when I was in
great.
high school.
Yep.
We would do that. Yeah.
I remember the first time I got my picture in the Grand Rapids Press. It said Matt Cameron goes to the hoop, and I was like, man,
Boom chickie wow wow.
first time I get my name wrong. That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
So what about favorite teacher?
I was just talking about this with somebody, and we were talking about Don Vanderkolk.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great friend.
And it wasn't, it was the classroom stuff.
Yeah.
But it was, we had a Bible study that we would have at his house, a group of like 8 or 9 guys,
Yep.
And I think, the impact of a teacher taking his evening to pour into you, have conversations, joke around, have fun, but have real conversations about the things that a high school young man is going through, and it was just really impactful. So when you graduate and you look back 20 some odd years, those are the things that you kind of remember that are impactful.
I still think here today,
And he was cool.
He was cool.
He was cool.
He was
and,
not as cool as I was, but he was
well,
cool.
Of course. But,
he was. And again, one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And when he passed away, it was really a hard thing, very difficult thing. So, but I think that we still have that here at NorthPointe Christian. You have teachers that pour into these guys and girls in many different ways. One of the things I do in my class, I show Twilight Zones, right? And I don't do it just for the entertainment, though they are entertaining. But these are from the 50s and 60s, the Twilight Zones.
I've filled in a time or two. And,
and we watch it for different reasons. In junior Bible, we teach principles of interpretation, hermeneutics, and the way that Rod Serling tells a story is very much like the way the biblical authors tell the story. The same types of things, the juxtaposition of characters, the symbols, and those things that we can look at, and then we look in the Bible and see the same thing happening. But in my senior class, it's a worldview class. And so the ones that we watch have to do with worldview, each one. The last one that we watched, the very last one, as a matter of fact, it was yesterday, is called The Changing of the Guard. And it's kind of got a feel to it like It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh,
right?
That's an all-timer.
And it's an all-timer. And so this Twilight Zone is much like that. And in the end, the professor, who didn't think that he was really impacting his students at all, finally understands how much he has impacted them, how much he's poured into them. And so after we watched that, I tell the students, I said, listen, this is just not for me. I said, but you look down the halls at each of these classrooms, at each of these teachers, you're taking a piece of us with you. And so as you go out and impact your world, just know, we've been intentional on doing this for you. And it's just a moment for me, and it's a really heartfelt moment, and one that I just want to let them know how much we appreciate them, but how much that we've poured ourselves into them.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I think that has not changed from the time when it was Grand Rapids Baptist.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. One word to describe NorthPointe Christian?
I would
wanna
say
take it?
grounded.
Grounded.
Ooh.
I like
That's
that.
what comes to
I like
my
the
mind,
word
yeah.
grounded.
So it describes our children sometimes. You're grounded.
You're grounded. Yeah. Different grounded though, right? Grounded
The
in
good
the word.
grounded, yeah.
And
Bingo.
for sure. All right, Michael, what about you?
I'll use the word community,
Yep.
And not just the student body, but, I was chatting with someone and they said, what's the best part of your job? And I said, it's the people I work with.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just brings me great joy. And it's a community. And, the staff, our children go to school here, and that creates a sense of community and family. And that would be my word.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I want to wrap things up here. So thank you both for sharing your stories today. It's clear your lives are reflecting what NorthPointe Christian wants to do in the intersection of faith and stuff of life and impacting the world for Jesus Christ. And just want to, all of you out there, say to subscribe, hit that subscribe button for the Pointe podcast. And I think today you got the point.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Pointe. I'm your producer, Alex Sigma. And if you enjoyed the episode, be sure to rate us on Spotify and share this podcast with others. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Spotify. We'll see you on the next episode.